What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we'll be taking a look at a title called Vorax. Vorax is sort of a nomadic, open-world, homesteading, zombie apocalypse survival game where you're a military guy that has been accidentally dropped into a quarantine zone that's kind of like locked off from the rest of the world. Nobody really knows what's going on here. You're basically a deniable asset. It's got kind of like a combination of like a Resident Evil 4 narrative and maybe like a little bit of a Dying Light narrative inside of there, where you're a deniable asset that is accidentally dropped inside of an infected quarantine zone that no one knows about. And during the daytime, you've got to scavenge, and you've got to look for loot, and you've got to find bullets, and you've got to find ways to barricade your home and craft food and go hunting and stuff like that. And then at night, if there is a zombie heart active in the area that you're currently homesteading, you've got to hold off zombies as they attack your base. And this is all about kind of like Home Alone style booby traps and bombs and things like that that kill zombies as they try to approach your house or the place where you're living. This game is in point 4. It is scheduled for a first quarter release of next year. So this is a pretty early build right here. It's got another year of development left to go. I'd say to keep that in mind as you watch this video. My first impressions of the game are kind of like here and there, in all honesty. I can see some promise here, but there's some definite things that need to be cleaned up and polished. I think that's what I took away from my hour to 2 hours of playing, is that there's some room for polish here, but it does have some interesting things going on as well that I think might captivate people. It's developed inside of Unreal, and so let's dive on in. We're going to play for about 30 to 45 minutes. This may be more heavily edited than the episodes that I typically do, just because to get to the action, I'm going to have to sit around for and there's no way to pass time as far as I can tell. So there's going to be big parts of the day where I'm just sitting around doing nothing. So there's going to be lots of jump cuts and edits and things. Sorry about that. But the game is linked down below. They frequently put out public tests in case you wanted to try it out. I don't think there's one open right now, but there may be soon. And then, of course, you'll find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream just in case you wanted to hang out live. Let's go ahead and do the Vorax thing.
A new type of light multiple rocket launcher has been developed by NATO. This weapon poses a threat to the security of our nation. The PMC and its shareholders consider this a matter of utmost importance. As part of Team W1, your objectives are: locate the high-mobility artillery rocket system, gather military intelligence on the system, reach the extraction point. Under no circumstances can the involvement of PMC be revealed. In the event of an emergency, the squad commander is authorized to initiate liquidation procedures. Proceed with extreme caution.
I'm guessing in the final release, there's going to be a cutscene right here that shows what's happening, a la the beginning of the forest. But for right now, it's just kind of like an alpha placeholder with the voiceover going. Here we are, waking up on the... It looks wet, dude. It looks like I definitely woke up and I've got like a wet spot on my britches. I don't like adventuring when I have a wet spot in my britches. What was that, our helicopter? How long have I been unconscious? There was a house nearby while flying. Maybe somebody's there. We can accept phone calls, because obviously we take phone calls on the secret dark op.
There was an accident. We saw other members of your team eject too. So far, we have been unable to reach them. There appears to be a house not far from your location to the north. Just follow the road. Once at the house, wait for further instructions. We need to ascertain if we can still salvage this mission. Remember your tactical helmet. It transmits vital data to us and logs all our communications with you. Review these at any time from the intelligence menu.
So there's our helmet right there. Let's go ahead and grab it. Once the tactical helmet is on, it gives us a HUD, but if you don't like the HUD at any time, you can take the visor back up and you can just enjoy the game as it looks right now. I'm going to keep the HUD on for a minute. You do have a flashlight on a 3-inch rail attached to this bad boy, as is kind of the standard for like Fast MT style helmets or U-locks and things like that. They usually have like some kind of rail mount or something for random attachments, lasers, you know, designators, flashlights, that kind of stuff. But for now, on our map, we need to go to our first holdout zone. Unfortunately, there's a wolf eating a guy over here, and so I need to get on the back of this truck and get that hatchet so that I've got a weapon. I'm also going to loot all the stuff in the back of the truck. One second. Give me all the things in the back of the truck. What you want, Woofy? What you want, Woofy? There we go. The woof has been dropped, and then I will harvest his goodies. There we go. I'll harvest his goodies so that I can use them later for eating. On this side, we've got a med kit. We have a clear water bottle, and we have a K-bar knife. Honestly, the fact that we're going to look for a HIMARS system makes me initially think that we're in a Warsaw Pact country, but the fact that we just picked up a K-bar, which is the knife of the United States Marines, makes me a little bit more confused. We've got a K-bar knife. That's all that matters. If you want to swap in between your weapons, there you go. You can pretty easily do that. By and large, I've found most of the animations in this game are pretty good, actually. They don't look bad. They look all right to me. There's been a few exceptions to that rule where there'd be some vague clipping through the player's hand and whatnot, but by and large, the animations actually surprised me a little bit with their fidelity in this game. You don't normally see that from Unreal development coming out of indie developers. So for right now, what we need to do is we need to head towards the dot on our map. We're about a third of a click away from where we need to be. We can do some scavenging around. We can't chop down trees just yet, as far as I know, but we can pick up forageables. So there's going to be a number of plants, or we don't want to deal with that. That is not going to be something that is gonna work. There's a treehouse up and over there, but for now, let's get ourselves settled and kind of get into the house first and foremost. This game does have entirely too much head bob. That was going to be my first observation about the game. You can see it right here while I'm running. There is no option as of right now in this alpha, in the settings, to eliminate that head bob. I would greatly appreciate it if the game allowed you to do that, just because I'm not a fan of head bob. I play pretty much every single game silky smooth. It's one of those things, you know how in the last couple videos I've talked about how I don't like overlays, filters, pixelators, depth of field, all that kind of stuff? I sort of feel like developers need to stop putting human flaws and human perception traits into video games. Those are like annoyances that we tolerate in real life because they're attached to our face and to our perceptive organs like our eyeballs. So they aren't really jarring and they don't really irritate us. But when they exist on top of a computer screen, it just kind of like drives me nuts. It just doesn't feel natural. So I would like to have the ability to get rid of the head bob, if at all possible. That would be a quality of life I would expect to exist. Phone's ringing. Moshi Moshi, Splattercat Desu.
We are analyzing the images your helmet sends us. Inspect the house. The drone saw a survivor take refuge inside. Perhaps a soldier. Look for him. He may have useful information on the location of the missile launcher.
There you go. What he also has is this backpack over here. Boom. You can press the T key, and that will allow you to turn on a flashlight, but be forewarned, when you have your flashlight on from your tactical helmet, it does make the battery in the top right-hand corner drain faster. That's not just there for, like, immersion. You actually have to charge your helmet up on this little charger right here. You put the helmet inside of it, and it takes a couple minutes, and then it's like, boop, 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 and it gets done. And so your helmet can actually run out of flashlight at really bad times. Let's go ahead and we will grab everything out of these boxes. The game does have an inventory system, as you can see right here. Some things are bigger, like med kits and guns. Some things are smaller. We do have our Beretta M9 right here, which is pretty cool. Here's what it sounds like. This game actually has pretty good gunshot reports, in my opinion. The only downside is, to me, perception-wise, it feels as though there's a delay.
Hey, is someone there? Over here, behind the door. Oh, who are you? Are you okay? Listen, we don't have much time. They are going to eat you alive if you don't do exactly as I say. Barricades, ammunition, explosives. Get yourself ready, kid. It's going to get real ugly as soon as the sun goes down. I'm trapped in this door. You need to do this on your own. In this place, the walls have eyes. You have to destroy those eyes.
There you go. And so this right here is a zombie heart. I don't know if that's what it's called. That's what I call it. I call it the zombie heart.
The mutations you have seen so far in fauna, flora, even in humans, there may be a link with this creature the Sergeant talks about. Our science team is worried that it may morph further into something aggressive. It seems protected by some barrier, but you have to find a way to eliminate it.
Almost everything in this game is actually immersively searchable, by the way. Just about every surface and every piece of loot that's laying around, you can interact with and pick up. So the first thing we're really going to need to do is we are going to need to get the power grid back up and running inside the house. We've got things to work with, chain link fences, stuff like that. Somebody's been loading 223 over here. That's the ammunition that I buy. It's the wolf ammunition. This has got to be a game that's out of Russia or something like that. That's too close to the icon right there. We got nail boxes over there, and then we've got, let's see, anything inside the cabinets. We got a can and a cloth. We've got a rope. All right, so over here, we need to get the power grid back up and running. So that means we've got to put fuses inside the fuse box right there. And then we need to play a little mini game right here to see if we can get this thing lined up. Now, I think that probably faces that way. That has to face down. That goes that way. It looks like we do have a split right there, so we probably want you to face downwards. We want you to face right. And luckily, I've always been really good at Pipe Dream. For whatever reason, Pipe Dream is always one of those puzzles that I tend to beeline my way through. Normally, not very good at puzzles in real life, but Pipe Dream? Man, my brain thinks in Pipe Dream for some reason. Now that the power's back on, you can oh yeah, I didn't turn it back on. You got to flick the little switches. There we go. Now the power is back on inside the house, which means I can iteratively go in between all of these light switches and turn them on for the exterior and the interior lights. That way, we don't really have to use a flashlight in here any longer. We still want to find more ammunition. We're going to need a lot of ammunition if we want to make it through the night. So let's go upstairs and let's see if we can find anything good. Cloth, ammunition. That's largely what I'm looking for. Cabinets have calm pills. There you go. We got a little bit of mom's after work pills right there. Let's see. We've also got some bandages. Okay, bandages are good for bleeding. Hit that light right there. Hit that light in the hallway. Hit that one right there. My dad would be so upset right now. Hey, we've got another soothing remedy right there, so that's good once nighttime gets here. You may have noticed in the bottom left we have a number of bars. We have, like, health, we have energy, we have thirst, we have hunger, but there's one underneath that that's not really explained. That one's called your nerve, basically, and when bad things are happening, your nerve goes down, and the lower your nerve goes down, the more you jitter with your gun and shake and have tremors that make it hard to aim. And so you don't want that to go down. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck hip firing all the time. We've got a note over here. Lucy, if I survive, I owe it only to the desire I so strongly feel of seeing you again. Fair. Get a little bit of cloth from in there. A little bit of cloth from in there. Looks good. I think we've got about all the ammunition I can take on board. 127 rounds is not great, but it's something. More grenades. That's good. Nail box right there. Box of ammo. All right. Some metal wires. What other goodies you got around here? Nothing. If something's flagged on your HUD like this PC, it means you can break it if you smack it with something, in case you were wondering, and it'll give you, like, electrical parts, or it'll give you paper, or it'll give you wires or something like that. It basically means that if you smack it with an axe or you shoot it with a gun, you'll get something. Statues turn into rocks. Ooh, there was a cloth right there. Let's get it. We've got until... I don't think the zombie invasion starts till like 10 o'clock. So we've got about 12 hours to play with here. I think I've got enough cloth to hold me for a little bit. I do indeed. I think we have enough cloth. So let's maybe think about... I need the hammer to go in right there. I don't particularly care about the K-bar knife, since we've got axes. There are bombs up here, but in the interest of maintaining our inventory, we'll come pick it up later. I do need to charge my helmet up a little bit. But while I charge up the helmet, I think we've got to barricade the house too. So let's do that. My recommendation is, if you play this alpha, don't barricade your house with the wire mesh, because the wire mesh requires more wire mesh in order to fix. And whatever happens here tonight, you are 100% going to have to fix these barricades a couple of times while the zombies are attacking. That's just the way that it goes. So there's our first barricade up right there, and I think you only get 300 extra HP in exchange for the wire mesh. The good news is the game does have quality of life. If you want to upgrade a barricade with wire mesh after it's already deployed, you can 100% do that. Realistically, we want this to come from this way right here. There we go. We don't want it to be on the inside of the door because our enemy are zombies, which means they're just going to be throwing themselves against this, which means that when they hit it, it's going to moor the nails in deeper. Whereas if we put it facing the other way, every time they hit it, it means the nails are going to slide inwards and come loose. In real life, against a human, it wouldn't really matter because from one direction, they're going to be able to hit it, and from the other direction, they're going to be able to pry it loose. Doesn't really matter. We do have a rope that allows us to get back into the house right here, just in case you barricade off all the entrances. The climbing animation is not incredible, but it's there and it's functional. I just need to grab a couple more boards so that I can finish that barricade. There we go. 2 more planks. But there's going to be some things off this map we're going to need to free roam and find, so that we can actually supply ourselves with more supplies. There we go. Good to go. And we've got another note right there. My son has disappeared. He is 11 years old with brown hair. I'm writing these 2 lines before I go to look for him again, aware of the risks that I'm running into. My wife should be inside the house hidden somewhere. Dear Lord, let someone make sure to protect them if anything happens to me. Fair, fair. Before we go, do I have any water or anything on me? I do have 1 clear water for right now. We'll go ahead and consume that in order to get our thirst back up. And then if I could find some snackies here in the house, that would also be nice for the road. Give me the snackies. The snackies did not fill us up quite as well as I had hoped they would. Got any food lying around here? There's water. Couple of energy drinks. I do like this game's soundtrack very much. It's got kind of like a dark wave, synthwave thing going on that is quite unnerving. We do have our can out now, so let's eat from the can. There we go. Can has been eaten from, and we should be good on our vitals for the moment. I also need to use this med kit on myself to get my health back up. All right, let's jump out of the window, and we've got tasks to undertake. There are a number of points of interest that I want to hit before nighttime gets here. Ooh, that actually did a little bit of damage to me. Who would have guessed? All right, we can't go down inside this hole, but there's one behind the house that connects to this one that we can go into. Not important for right now, but if we have extra time at the end of the day, I'll take it. We've got some marigolds right there. This is the well. The well's going to allow you to draw water. It's going to be bad water, though, because that well is uncovered. And one of the things they nailed is that an uncovered well is not trustworthy. With an uncovered well, like a rat could fall in there and sink back down to the bottom, and you would never know. And that water looks pretty murky to me, so I wouldn't trust it. There's a barn over here. We need to go to this barn, because this barn has a friend inside of it that's going to make our life very simple come nighttime. So let's go ahead and grab it. We also want to keep a particular lookout for these poppies over here, or the marigolds. And then we want to keep an eye out for valerian if we see it rattling around. Those are going to be the 2 most important plants because these allow you to heal yourself. A normal bandage in this game does not heal you. It just stops bleeds. But if you take the marigold and you put it on a bandage, then it actually heals you for like 5%, which means you can spam bandages in order to be okay. One down. That one's down. Try to hit headshots when and where you can. Just for the conservation of ammo. There we go. And we drop those things. These are mutated wolves that have caught like the T-virus or whatever it is that's happening around here. Love the gunshot sounds in this game. There is a little bit of a delay though, as I mentioned previously. On both of the guns I've played around with, we can actually break this right here to get planks, and we're going to need planks. So I don't want to turn down opportunities to get planks unless the physics can be a little weird too, in case you didn't notice. Like I said, early alpha. There's a few planks right there that are apparently affected by the anomalies in the zone. We are going to need these planks, though, because... Ooh, aloe vera, nice. These planks are going to allow us to... We don't have any planks left back at the house, and these planks will allow us to repair the barricades once the zombies start hitting them, because there's kind of like a little mini game we've got to play once the zombies arrive in order to banish the heart. The zombie heart, that is. We may actually have to chuck that one right there and come back for it later. There we go. Now we've got ourselves a little bit of a break-action shotgun over here, which is going to go mighty fine with all that ammunition we've been picking up. I don't think there's anything else inside the barn that we need to worry about. I'm going to run back to the house and drop this stuff off, and then we're going to go back out on adventure. One thing I do, in fact, appreciate about this game is that your character is able to sprint a realistic amount of distance for someone that is a trained military operative. PMC stands for Private Military Company, and effectively, they don't really recruit anybody that's not either from law enforcement or from the military itself after people get out or like age out of infantry or whatever else. And so you would expect a guy in a PMC to actually have a pretty solid level of physical fitness and also a pretty good handle on weapons. I'm probably just going to dump the boards down here in like a centralized location where I can fix things. There we go, and there we go. Looks good. Don't have any complaints. Whether or not that will be enough planks to get us through the night, I'm not confident on. Maybe, maybe not. Because when you fire through the barricades, any pellet or bullet that hits the barricade breaks the barricade a little bit. So it's like, it kind of depends how much gunfire I'm going to be spraying. The other thing we need to pick up is going to be an old friend that Doom Guy introduced us to oh so many years ago. Now, if you cross over the big field, you can see where our house is right there. If you cross over the big field with all the dead animals in it, there's actually a lumber camp over here, and it has a chainsaw. Rip and tear until it is done. There it is. It's also got a couple of fuel cans, just in case you wanted to pick those up for yourself. The game does not have a sort button. I would recommend they add a sort button to the overall UI and interface. Not a thing right now, though, but it would be nice to have because the inventory can take a little bit of fussing from time to time. It will not move the items in optimally. You'll occasionally have to play inventory Tetris. I'm fine with that, but some people become very agitated at the prospects of inventory Tetris. So, you know. You can chop down trees in this game once you've got a hatchet, and I did want to show the utility of having a chainsaw. Basically, you just need to log this stuff out. As you can see, I've subdivided this tree out into logs. I don't know where the rest of the logs went. I guess it only gave me one log, but as far as I know, if we have the chainsaw equipped now, we should be able to actually saw this thing. There you go. And so as you can see, we can actually chainsaw the log. And that will allow us to plank it, I think. There you go. Perfect. And so as you can see, we've got way more planks that we can rely on now, just in case we've got to repair the house at all. But I did want to show the chainsaw action. This is one of those games like a little bit wonky, and it's a little bit janky, and it's definitely got polished things that need to be fiddled with. But given the fact that they're a year out from release, I actually think they're in okay shape here. It comes across more as promising, but just in need of like cleanup detail. I'm going to do some inventory management here because I've just got way too much crap inside my inventory, and some of it's got to go. All right, now we're cleaned out a little bit, and I can head back out into the hinterland. We can kind of like see what other things are on the map. I don't think that I've found every single point of interest in this game, not even close, but we do need to resolve the sewer back behind our house, too. So there's like an old military base down inside of here that I think it might be worth crawling through before we sort of accelerate time to the final confrontation, just because down here we can get ourselves... It's pitch black. There must be a way to turn the lights on. Yeah, I'm working on it. There may be a whole bunch of ammo and things down here that I can capitalize on. It is quite dark, however. Got a gas mask filter. Those are probably nails from what it looks like to me. We've got some particle board over here, like plywood. Got a couple of big gates. Workbox right there. Engine room? That sounds right. That sounds about what we're looking for. Are there any military boxes down here? That's really what I'm looking for, is like long boxes. It's like we got some kind of bracket maybe, but no. Not what we're looking for. Ah, jeez. Fall back, fall back, fall back. I don't know what those are, but there's a whole bunch of them in there, and they all gotta go. What is this? Sounds like maybe it opened a gate somewhere, possibly. So maybe engine room was a bust. This may not be what we're looking for. I don't even know if that lever actually worked, just due to the fact that the power's not on. Heard something. Oh, I know what I heard. It just looks like iron. Nails, fuses. I was kind of hoping we'd find weapons down here, but here's the power panel. So let's just slap some fuses in there. And hey, looks like we're solid. I don't think we got to do anything more than that. I'll probably come back through here and grab what I can where I can a little bit later on. But let's do some digging and see if we can't figure out what that engine room switch actively did. Hey, calming pills. Very nice. Definitely need those. Nails and whatnot. Not important for right now. Maybe later. Warning, poison CSDS, follow safe handling protocols. Bunch of planks. AO2 was what was on that engine room thing, right? I think that may have been what it was. We can try to go back and, like, flick it and see what happened. No bullets or anything down here, unfortunately, which means I'm wasting ammo. That's not good. None of this is really good. This is all terrible. Fuses. Come on, give me a box of ammo or two. 40, 50 more rounds. That's all I ask. That's all I ask of you. Alright, well, that one's now green. Let's go see if anything changed over here. Doesn't look like anything changed to me. VO2, VO1. It's mostly like garbage in here. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we don't want to go in there. Did I mention this game kind of has like an I Am Legend thing going on too, where like the zombies go downstairs and like they hibernate? Looks like my helmet's in the process of going out on me. It's giving me like VHS tracking lines. So unfortunately, we need to get out of here. We struck out on the ammo front. Was hoping we'd pick up another 20 or 30 shotgun shells, maybe like another 100 rounds of 9mm. Tonight's gonna get a little dubious. It's gonna be down to the wire. Let's go ahead and take that off real quick. I'm gonna go charge the helmet, and then we'll decide what sort of adventures we want to get up to. I figured I'd investigate the treehouse real quick while my helmet is charging. There's no reason to sit there and stare at it. Unfortunately, it looks like the ladder broke off, and little kid didn't make it. He does have a water bottle on him, though. Stay in the treehouse. We built it together, of course. You'll be safe up there. Don't go near the barn to get the guns. Stay safe. It'll all be over soon. Love you, son. Yeah, I don't think it matters anymore. But tire swing, huh? They didn't take the hubcap off the tire swing? Okay. Well, I think I found our team. It looks like they've been wrapped up inside cocoons. I have no idea if the prayers are making things worse or better, but now I don't have time to interpret the messages the Lord is trying to send me. Last night we lost 3 men. My hand trembles as I try to draw the letters you are reading. We would like to properly bury their bodies, but the idea of wandering outside carrying corpses worries us a lot. I'm sure they'll forgive us. Yeah. You don't happen to have, like, ammo or anything on you, do you? Just a couple of bullets, please. Just a few bullets and I can feed my family for the entire winter, please. It also looks like I'm just kind of exploring the zone right now because there's not really much else to do while I wait for nightfall, and there's no way to, like, bypass time. It looks like there's some kind of truck wreck over here. Whole bunch of dead workers and whatnot, too. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, a SIG? Okay, yeah, that's way better than a Beretta. Code for the shed, 248. It's good to know, good to know. I don't suppose the Beretta has a, let's take a look at this Beretta. Well, it's got an optical mount for like a delta point or like a loophole. Unfortunately, we have not found that piece of hardware yet. I'm sort of curious whether or not I don't know if the SIG is going to perform better than the Beretta. I personally, in real life, think the SIG is a much finer gun than the Beretta, but, you know, it's probably open for debate. Oh, there's a cave over here. My helmet's at home, though. How dark is it going to get in here? Not actually that dark. Huh. Sulfur. I'm willing to bet that's for manufacturing gunpowder. And there is, if you go to your crafting menu, there is a pickaxe you can make. So I'm guessing that's for making, it's like a mine. Maybe it's not done yet in the current build. I don't know. But I'm guessing that's probably coal right there. And then you can probably get the sulfur, and then you can probably use scrap metal in order to make bullets, possibly, and, like, manufacture your own. I don't know. What I was actually looking for on this map with all of these cuts and whatnot while I'm looking around is I've actually beaten this section earlier today while I was preparing for the video. And when you complete this section, the guy inside the closet gives you a key to a Humvee. Like, it says key to military vehicles. And I haven't been able to find the military vehicle, like, anywhere on the map. Hey, 112 gauge shell, and apparently a diary page. I don't think they made it, but, you know, it's nice to have some semblance of closure as to where the homies ended up. Let's see what's inside the shed. My helmet's done charging. I just heard it beep through the wall. Let's see what's in the shed, though. What's the shed got for me? So it's 248, right? I don't know. It's been a while since I picked up that note as far as recording goes. There it is, 248. What do we have in here? It looks like we've got a lot of nails and a lot of boards. And that appears to be it. I was hoping for, like, an ammunition stash or something in here. That's what I was praying for. But you know what? I'm not going to turn up my nose at a good thing. I'm going to go back inside, and we are going to wait for nightfall, and you can kind of see what the showdown looks like in this game. And I assume that it's going to be a collection of maps strung together just like this one, where you kind of do the same thing on each map in increasingly more complicated houses that are, like, harder and harder and harder to secure. There's my helmet. And it is almost 5 o'clock. So yeah, we've got a solid 5 or 6 hours before things start to get really hairy. I'll make a big old edit right now, and I'll see you then. All right, it's nighttime, and the zombies are here, so there's our first guy just chewing on the wall over here. The downside is I need to take a calming pill real fast just to get my aim back. There we go. There we go. Drop him, and there's another one over here. That one, actually, I think the SIG hits a lot harder than the Beretta does. The SIG appears to be putting some serious damage downrange. This thing hasn't gone into jiggle mode yet. It starts jiggling and vibrating in a minute. And as you can see, there's like a face. We got to get it to open up. And once you get it to open up, there's like an apparatus inside of there that we need to destroy. But it's not going to open up for a little while. I think we've still probably got like... We probably still got like another hour and a half or so, I guess, of in-game time before it becomes an issue. We've got to chase this down. These are like the beginning stragglers of the zombies that are going to be hitting our position. You know, maybe it was just a perceptional bias. Earlier on in the video, I said that if you had your flashlight on, it made your helmet drain faster. But, like, I took my helmet off a minute ago, and I think I can still use the flashlight while the helmet is not on my head. So maybe the helmet flashlight is just... Oh, the helmet flashlight is just brighter. Okay, gotcha. Well, maybe I wasn't too far off then. They had me second-guessing myself. Sir? Sir, can you not do that, please? Thank you, sir. I'm gonna need you to have a seat, sir. I'm gonna need you to have a seat and calm down, sir. This situation does not necessitate that kind of behavior, sir. I need you to take a look into the nap time tube. Go ahead. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now we need to kill these eyeballs. They're gonna pop up all over the property. And I love the fact that when you beat on these little eyeballs right here, they actually have, like, differing grades of degradation. Oh, it's in jiggle mode. Okay, so we've got zombies around. They need to be dealt with. There's an eyeball. Let's get it. The eyeballs can also be outside the house, too, just in case that wasn't unnerving enough for you. In case you were wondering. Got anybody on that door? Nobody on that door. We got a bunch of zombies on that door, so they all gotta go. Ah, they're not dead. Yeah, they're still up. Come on. Step to the door. I got things to do here. I don't have time for this. Ah, Christ. Get out of here. Looks like I can fix this, so we should probably do that. There we go. Barricade fixed. Let's go find this other eyeball real fast. I think I'm reloaded, so we should be all right. We also got a guy over here. There we go. Drop him real quick. Shotgun feels great, in my opinion. Feels absolutely fire. I don't see an eyeball outside. I don't know where the next eyeball is, but we got to find it. If we don't find it, we're going to have a bad time. Not in there. There he is. There we go. Send him back into the wall. Let me go clear the barricades real fast, just to make sure we're in solid shape. All right, you go to sleep. You, sir, quiet down. Thank you. Fix this barricade real fast. There we go. Barricade's good. How's this one looking? That one's pretty beat up, too. It's not looking great. It could be better. There we go. All right, let's go find this next eyeball. Check the basement real quick. I don't know if one can... Hey, there we go. All right, we got him on the first try. Give this guy the old Voorhees treatment real fast. There it is. I think that's the only spot where it can spawn down in the bottom, so let's go ahead and clear these barricades. Oh my god, there's so many of you. That is a lot of bad guys. Okay, you're down. Didn't kill that one in one shot, unfortunately. Damn it. Die, please. Please die. I don't have enough materials. Grab some boards. Get that tightened back up. All right. We tighten back up. Yeah, they're just messing with me at this point. Hello. Goodbye. Get back upstairs. Check all the rooms. Check the outside. I don't know if the flashlight went far enough. In here, maybe? I'm scared. Yeah, this seems like an appropriate situation to be scared in. That means he needs to take nighttime pills. I don't see one. Oh, there we go. All right. Go ahead and take him down real quick. Yep, enjoy. Would you like an up-close view of this axe? Okay. Working on it. Let's get some grenades, and there it is. As you can see, an eyeball has come out. The grenades in this game feel super wispy and bad. I wish they were a little bit bigger and more explodey. But there it is. We have finished off the zombie heart. It's dead. And that should mean all the zombies in this area just spontaneously die, from what I recall. I don't know if you can actually loot the zombies. Looks like maybe you can. It looks like they're dropping something on the ground, but let's talk to our buddy first.
Holy shit! You actually did it, kid! The night should be much safer with that thing gone. You see, there is a tunnel behind this house. It leads to the other side of the island. We were driving through there when... I swear we are living through the end times, kid. That tunnel is alive. It moves and moans in pain. It's like being inside the belly of a serpent. Then this horrific sound, like 1,000 horns of the apocalypse. The walls collapsed. Last thing I remember is the hand of God taking my squad into that dark tunnel. I don't know how long I was out, but when I woke up, my leg was pinned under a slab of concrete. Somehow I managed to free myself and made my way here to this house. The only way to get to the other side of the island now is to bypass the tunnel using the sewers. But you will need a gas mask first, and the only mask is inside that car. Here, take the keys. The mask is inside. With the mask, you should be able to survive in the sewers long enough to get to the other side of the island. And one more thing, kid. Repent your sins before you enter that tunnel. Good luck, kid.
There you go. That's the intro. I'll leave a little something to the imagination here since the video's running a tad long for when they do another playtest so that you guys can check it on out. But my thoughts about this are that it's promising. It's not quite there yet, but it's got a year till release, and it's definitely got kind of like a Resident Evil Bioshock, or it's got like a Biohazard. I almost said Bioshock. It's got a Resident Evil Biohazard feeling to it. That's kind of what it reminds me of. The gun sound effects are really well done. If they can get that delay where it fires like probably like 30 or 40 milliseconds after you click, you can kind of like feel it. With the pistols especially. With the shotgun, you can still feel it, but it's not quite as pronounced. And actually, with the SIG, you don't feel it at all, so it might actually just be an issue with the M9 having a delay when you fire it. The SIG actually feels pretty good, but the gun reports sound good, the voice acting feels alright, the lighting effects are reasonably decent. I've had no performance issues this entire time. It's been running like butter. The zombies can be a little bit janky and a little bit weird, both with their hitboxes and with their pathfinding. That's what I've noticed having played through this twice. That's definitely going to need to be tightened up. There is no FOV slider inside the options, even though you are given a very large selection of options you can play around with. And so it's actually odd that the FOV is not in there. but it should be. So FOV and head bob are the two things that appear to be missing from this list over on this side that I'd like to see added on in. But aside from that, for an early alpha, it actually has an incredible docket of particulate options you can play around with instead of just having everything consigned to post effects, which is really nice. That is pretty much it for me for right now. Basically, tighten up the delay on the M9. The zombies should be a little bit less janky when they're running around, and when they're pathfinding, they do seem to get stuck pretty frequently on various locations as they try to recalculate where they want to go. And then aside from that, I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. For a small team, promising, I think, is the word that I would use. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day, so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were taking a look at Vorax, a game that kind of came out of oh my god, the zombies actually drop like full-on loot, bro. Vorax, a game that I had not expected. Like, I was playing it, and there was like a little bit of jank in there with the head bob and whatnot, but like as I played it more and more, like, I mean, that just feels really good right there, you know? Like, that's a really nice, snappy sound and feel that they've got to the actual gun itself. Anyways, we'll play around with it more in the future. We'll check back in on it in a year and see if they've got those things tightened up and how the overall game plays. But for now, this is Vorax. I will catch you all later. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I pretty much have nothing else to show you for the day. Bye, folks. Take care.